Hello, 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 and good afternoon, everybody. It has been quite some time that I had the pleasure of tuning in to you guys and being live on Facebook. If you're looking from Facebook, hello, Facebook friends. If you're looking from YouTube, hello, I choose me, hashtag no more excuses subscribers. If you're in the Survivor to Soulvivor Facebook group, hello to you. Those are the three places that I am streaming from today. And so I am super excited because guess what? We are 5 days away from, because it's the 6th, today is the 1st. So on the 6th, I will be launching my first ever ebook. So this is a book of poetry, prophetic poetry to heal the soul. It's titled You Are Essential. I always want to say I because I'm always thinking about the I in you. And so it is titled that You Are Essential. And I'm super excited because I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a glimpse into what this new book of poetry will be about, how it will be healing you in this season. I know it has been forever, so you're going to hear some new precious isms that you probably haven't heard it for a while. And I just want to basically celebrate this newfound project, this new digital masterpiece in which I had the pleasure of working with my sister, my spirit, my soul connecting sister, Miss Melissa Price. It was a great collaboration. She is here with me today. I'm about to pull her in before we get started about this project that we just collaborated on. Hey!
Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share the project too. This is by far the coolest project I've done to date. And you keep me busy. You keep me real busy. But this was like the coolest project I think we've done together so far. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
this
so
is so like
see it.
it's so perfect. I'm looking for I'm gonna go on here, make sure you guys are sharing. I'm sure many of you guys will see me after the fact because it's been forever. I know it's like a shock that I'm even on today. It's shocking to my spirit. It has been such a long time, but let me just say I have missed you guys terribly. I have been on Clubhouse, so I have been nurturing that platform, not forgetting about you guys, but just, shifting and learning how to balance my energy and basically preserve myself for all the different things that are coming up. So I'm just super excited that you guys are about to get a taste of some prophetic poetry today that will just give you a little bit of insight of what you can look forward to. And I just want you to know that if you get to tune into this and you get to see this live and you are getting action for your attraction, you will get over 50% off on the ebook if you order before the 6th. It launches on the 6th. That means on the 6th, everybody will get this delicious, delectable, this book of poetry from yours truly, which, I mean, as I was reading the poems myself, I just had to look up at God and say, how do you use me like this? Like, I know why I'm able to get to the places I get to, and it's because he just speaks right through me. And so it is such a it's such a powerful experience, I would say, to say the least. It was transcendent. For those of you who don't know, I wrote a book of poetry back in 2007. That was my first book ever. And that was back when we were doing snail mail. You couldn't get it on Amazon. You couldn't get it on all these other places. I literally had to.
She was handwriting it, and then
handwrite it. Yes, edit right on there, mail it out, wait for them to mail it back. And so I'm talking about before it was a thing, I was on this ship. And so as I was thinking about all the books that I have written, starting with Precious Thoughts from the Soul, which was in 2007, I also did a book of affirmations for the woman with testimonies, 365 days of loving yourself to life, becoming the gift that you were always meant to be. And my children's book, one of my most prized possessions, which was written in both girls and boys, which we also have a campaign going on, Feed a Hungry Child Soul, but we'll talk about that at the end of this 30 minutes. So we're not going to be before you long. I just want to get in and let you know what I'm doing, what's going on, just how I have been growing in behind the scenes, that God has been working through me, in me. I have so much inspiration and information that I am going to be sharing over the next few days. Just excited about the launch. But I just wanted to ask Melissa while I'm sitting here sharing and going through. Look, I thought somebody was behind me. Oh my goodness. Being in this room. But yes, I want you to tell them a little bit about how it was to work on the project with me. And just she is the creative genius behind it, right? So let me tell you something about Melissa. You can tell her your vision and send her some things. Send her the information, and then when you get it back, she's first of all, she got more than you need to be looking at, because now you can decide what you want. She makes it more confusing, but the beauty in the way she captures the essence of who you are and what your vision is, right? The visionary media marketer right here. I mean, when I say that it is so hard for me to release things to people because I always want stuff the way I want stuff, which is why I move so slow. And in this season, I'm learning to trust who God has sent to me in order for me to be able to let go of some things and concentrate on my gifting part. And so I'm just so grateful that through these years, Melissa has become the media queen, okay? That I can literally give her a project and I can handle something else and come back and be in awe of how she captured everything that I wanted, what I envisioned. And I'm telling you, the beauty. You have never seen an ebook like that today. I'm telling you, when you invest and get that book, when you get it, you are going to send a love offering. That's how beautiful it is. It's going to captivate you, and not only with the colors and the imagery, but it's going to captivate you, the words, the healing words. Because I'm the soul doctor. I'm the soul doctor. So go ahead, Melissa. Go ahead and let them know how you do what you do and how this project was for you.
So I've spent the last couple years. Well, I have to say thank you, because I learned a lot of stuff from you, Precious. Like I didn't even know what Canva was. I remember it was pre-pandemic, and it was when the kids book came out, when the How Special Are You? You're One of a Kind came out, and you were showing me how you did it in the Canva, and you introduced me to Fiverr, all these things I had no knowledge of. And I remember week after week after week, you would be like, no, you just drop it in here. You could do this. Da-da-da-da-da. So, I didn't listen at first, but then I was like, this still looks like it might be too hard. I don't know. This was like in my scared of technology days, which wasn't that long ago. It was just a few years back, but shout out to William Brown, because when I was ready to step into the Canva and step into this love of creating and art, and I'm an author too. I love poetry. So, Precious and I are kindred spirits on a lot of different levels. So we just connect really well when it comes to projects. And I've been following her for years anyways. I met her at the 365 book launch. So I've been witnessing and watching everything she's done for years. So I know what she's about. So it's not really difficult for me to kind of relate to your visions, But William Brown took the time. He spent an hour with me teaching me the ins and outs of Canva. And then Precious took a chance on me and said, yeah, you can make me some flyers. You can do this. You can do that. How about a logo? Blah, blah, blah. And every time she took a chance on me, it gave me an opportunity to grow in a gift and a skill and a talent. I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm really good at this.
You are great. You're amazing.
Never in a million years would have guessed that this is something that I would have a skill for, So every time she took a chance on me and gave me a project, I was able to grow in a gift that I didn't even know I had or was capable of. So over the last couple years, I've been doing a lot of work with her, and she's passed on a lot of great clients to me. William Brown as well has passed on clients to me, and I loved doing this ebook so much. The thing I love about you, Precious, is you're a creative spirit. You're a dreamer. You are a visionary yourself. And it's just so cool to do projects with somebody who's like that. I'm like that. So I always feel with you, like I know what you like, but I always feel like you give me like the creative reins. You give me free rein on whatever I want to do. And then we just tweak it from there. So it's really fulfilling when I get to do projects. This ebook, I feel like I'm almost more proud of this ebook than I was of the book I did. Although I did not design my book. My book was designed beautifully for me, but I am literally, this is the first big book that I have ever done from start to finish, aside from the writing, I mean, design wise. And I will say throughout the process, life happens, my kids act up, bills come in, family goes to the hospital. And I will tell you what, on those bad days, this saved me. I opened the computer. I've called Precious many times and saying, you know what? I'm having a day and all I want to do is work on this book, because every time I worked on it, I read every poem in there probably 45 times, so every time I'm reading and designing around those words, everything else melts away. It leaves me, I've been gifted through this process to just have those words that she wrote touch me over and over and over again, fill me up and save me from that bad day. And then being able to pour into that, my heart, through the visuals. It just was really blessed. I feel super proud, super fulfilled by the process. I can't wait to do more. So yeah, it was just
she's already like, what's the next project? What are we doing next?
What are we doing? When's the next book? You get no rest for the creatives here.
Momentum. We got this momentum going thing. Let's get this momentum going.
You got to stay with the wave, ride the wave the whole way in, right?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this has been like such a treat. Like I said, it's been so many years. In my original book of poetry, God kept on whispering to me, go back to the beginning. Yeah. I was feeling a little bit drained, as we often do when we're pouring, and then we have expectations, and then it's like time. Time is the one commodity we can't get back. And so I was trying to find a way to multiply myself where I'm not, because I'm still just one person. And so I realized that when God kept on whispering, go back to the beginning, he was talking about the poetry. And so I figured I found my gift at 12 years old. And
me too.
I was young.
Another thing we have in common. Precious and I both discovered that we had a gift for poetry at the ripe age of 12 years old. Can I say that for a lot of poets out there? I mean, I do think a lot of poets start young, and I know mine came out of like a bad, I was really depressed, I had a messy upbringing. And that became my outlet. And it just, when I started by trying to journal, and I found that everything I was journaling was rhyming. So I was like, ooh, let's just structure this into a poem. And like, it's just easier for me to rhyme than it is to write. And so from that point on, I think it was 8th grade, I did my very first like school writing contest and blew everybody out of the water. And from then on, I was like supercharged to not only fill myself and heal myself through the process of writing, but share and not be scared to write that kind of stuff that might save somebody else's life, spirit, life. Words save life. I'm just saying, writing saved my life, because I was suicidal. I was literally suicidal at 12 years old and had tried to cut my wrists. So if it was not for that outlet and the discovery that I could make something beautiful out of the pain that I was going through, and also get such good accolades from people like, wow, this is powerful. Oh my God, I'm going through this. And I thought I was the only one. I just discovered there was power in that. And so, yeah, just not to cut you off, but like, that's just another thing we have in common. At 12 years old, became poets,
And I think that's so essential, right? You are essential, because what I found, even with myself, it was like, many of us suffer in silence, right? And so at 12, I was suffering in silence, dealing with molestation, dealing with that unworthiness, not sharing it, but basically holding it, right? And dealing with it. And I think that finding that gift of poetry was how God, made me feel validated in my I am, right? Letting me see the special pieces of me so I wouldn't get overwhelmed by the parts that was the process into the promise. I always say the who may kill you, but the what will heal you. And what I realized is that I was able to process through the words that God used me as a vessel. And as he spoke to me, I wrote it down, right? And so I said, as God whispers, he really changes the way I see myself. And so when I was able to write stuff down and then the reactions of other people and how it had touched them and feel them and grew them, I was thinking like, okay, this only I didn't even know the value of what I was doing. Let's be honest, because for me, it was maybe 10 minutes. It's never taken me more than 10 to 15 minutes to write a poem. And so immediately I could hear words in my head. 90% of the poetry I write, I've never been through. It was basically I could be in the presence of somebody and it's almost like their energy, their feelings fall on me like the dew in the morning is how I describe it. And then I get these words. And so I always say it's definitely bigger than me. And it allowed to grow me because after even doing this project, some of the poems are from our original book and some were new poems that I've created over the years. Since I've been writing for so long, I have books and books of poetry. But as I was reading the poetry, it was bringing me to tears. I felt like, wow, to know that broken little girl had so much light. As I say, God gives us all a light. And either we're transparent with our light, where light can shine through transparency. That means I'm okay with my story. I'm confident in my story and I'm walking in it. And I know that I have a light. And so in that, I'm going to share it by showing myself, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the other way where your light shines through the cracks. And so when I think about the cracks, it's because we get broken in life, right? So whether it's child molestation, whether it's rape, whether it's homelessness, whether it's divorce, whether it's death of, a loved one, like especially with this past season, I don't care what that looks like. Those are the cracks. Mm-hmm. And those cracks allows the light to shine through. Because if you ever seen an abandoned building, if you go inside that building, you'll know where the hole's at because the light will shine through those cracks. And so sometimes we are confident enough in our story where we have removed the shame or gotten our lane, or there is no shame, where we can just expose ourselves because we don't feel like anything is our fault. Anything speaks anything to us, right? Or from us. And so I realized that having the gift of being broken is how we process into the promise. And so I say, God takes us through those spaces so that we can die to resurrect, right? So that we could go from survivor to soulvivor because it's a mindset. But to think that even when I was weary, even when I was feeling, scared or ashamed or all those different things, that he kept me going and he kept me afloat with our gifts. And I think that's what God means when he says your gifts will make room for you. Because if I got you on assignment, I just need you to get into alignment. And so being grateful enough to hear him. When I look at the poetry that I have written when I was 14 and 15 and 16, I'm like, wow, there's a depth to the poem that was always there. And it's only because, as I say, as he whispers, I write it down. And it's so much bigger than me. And the more I've grown and seen people who were more mature in the Bible, they would tell me how God always used poets and, and just say how prophetic it is. And then, so it got me to adapt to that. Wow, God wasn't picking on me. He was picking me up. He was preparing me for this time to create a book like this that can say you are essential. Why can I say you are essential? Because I first had to find myself essential. I had to not get caught up in the pain, but make room for the power. I had to get past the fact that it was this situation and realize that that's what makes me the solution. Those problems that I went through, it validates me. And so when we realize that words heal, words have power. They heal or they kill. There was this saying, I remember that I loved. It says, it's easy to leave angry words unspoken than to mend a heart those words have broken. And when you think about the power in that, it's saying, how do you mind your words? A God that served us all, that created us all, created the whole world with just words. It didn't say he touched a
The power of life and death is in the tongue. It's even in the Bible. I mean, it's right there in the word. The word's in the word.
It is written. It is written. And so look, you know how we can talk.
Yes.
But I decided, since we're only going to be on for another 10 minutes, I'm going to pull up a poem to share. Now, let me tell you something. I just want to put that up to the screen. I don't know if you can see that.
You know we weren't going to do this without a visual. I went and printed this bad boy up, and it's
oh my God! Now
let me put that big page up.
Oh my God!
Yeah, girl, you're going to be getting this today. What is it?
Oh my goodness!
Test or suffering in silence? Where you at?
Celebrate your test. That is a great, Melissa. Oh my God. Now, this is an ebook, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna get it like this yet. But she printed up this ebook. I guess you could print up your own ebook, huh? She printed up this ebook, and oh my God. Yes, Queen, you got me. You got me.
You get your own hard
surprise for you. Oh my!
It came out great. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
I'm sorry, you guys. I don't mean to squeal, but can y'all see what y'all about to get for only $25? Only until the 6th now. After the 6th, it is $52.
Price goes up after that, but
price goes up. But this is oh my goodness, that is beautiful.
It is. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am excited. I am so flipping excited. It looks so beautiful in print.
So what are you going to read? What are you going to read for us?
Oh my goodness.
And I'll hold up the picture while you're reading.
I'm going to read Moving On.
Oh, I was just up to that. All right. Wow. Just moving on. You know, this is our waterfall, baby.
Oh, isn't that? Oh my God, it's so gorgeous, Melissa. Now look, all of this, the words and but this visual that y'all seeing, that is this queen over here, the visual media marketer right here. Let me tell you, the way she it's nothing that I've ever seen before. And I had a couple of ebooks. I've ordered people's ebooks, and let me tell you, I am so impressed by how you captured the whimsical side of me, that no rules type of colorful, and it's got all of my colors, all of my say it gorgeous. And let me tell you how God is so intentional. She has been creating flyers for me over this time, and we have done nothing with them. I'm like, oh my goodness,
for the moment.
Okay? I'm like, I got this
before we blast off. You know, we had to be ready.
Oh
so
my God,
we got it all set to go out now. Yeah. Now the workload is gone down. We spent all this time working up to this point, and now
so beautiful.
Putting it out there.
Oh, I'm so excited. You are the bomb.com queen.
You know, we have to be able to hold this and see
my God
in our hands, because you and I are like hands-on people like that. We do editing on pens and paper. I always tell her, print it out, write it on there, and then screenshot it to me so I can print it out, and then I will do it. It just works better for our brains.
It works for us like that.
It's nice to be able to hold the baby.
Oh my God. You made my day. I cannot wait to end this live and see you. Look.
All right, go ahead and read, and I'll hold up the visuals.
Okay, this one is called Moving On. It's a new day, and I've cried my last tear. No more crying over the past, no more counting up the years. The years that have passed as I stood still in a place, because the pain that I've been through, I left plastered on my face. I've allowed my face to tell a story because of the hurt in my eyes. And I have to remind myself of Dr. Maya Angelou, who says, and still I rise. I've allowed my body to be weakened and my spirit to be torn. And I have to remind myself of Oprah Winfrey, who says, dream a bigger dream and let your spirit move on. I've allowed my soul to go unprotected with all the things that I do. And I have to remind myself of Dr. Robin Smith, who says, stop allowing people to put their trash inside of you. I've allowed my vision to be cloudy when I try to look at me. And I have to remind myself of great ones like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, who saw when they couldn't see. They found the beauty of their existence, even with the lack thereof. And they first used on themselves the ability to love. So when I now look at myself, I use a positive view to learn to love myself as God shows us to. For in this world, we are losing what our purpose is all about. To love ourselves and others and know that God put us here without a doubt. That we are put here not by accident, but with a destiny to fulfill. Come on now. And know that our ups and downs are all a part of God's will. It's time that we embrace our journey and love what we see and be the living testimony God called us to be. For your pain was not in vain, but for others when passing through. So people can embrace the strength they see inside of you. Because if everyone would start to live their own lives and not reflect the lives of each other, then we can start becoming more valuable to one another. I'm telling you, I'm reading this stuff like I can't believe God let me write it. A prophecy will begin to be fulfilled when we learn to love and embrace who we are. Because from the source of our pain, we will find the strength to move far. May God bless your mind and heart as you listen to my plea, as we stop imitating one another and be the best that we can be. And so for those of you that just heard that, whether it's a replay, I'm sure this will be replaying and people will catch up to it later. I definitely want you to put in the comments, what did that mean when you heard that poem? How did that shift you? Not that you, it's so beautiful. Melissa, listen, show them what they about to get when they get there. And then guess what? It'll be at your fingertips. You'll just be out having a bad day and you're going to say, you know what? I need to be reminded of God's favor. Oh, you know what?
Right on your phone. Right on your phone.
When you're going through, oh my God, that's one of my favorite pictures right there. I am the impact. I'm the agreement heaven had with earth. Come on now. You are the agreement. So as you, in a family tree, that we even have a piece with all of us together. With Melissa and all 7 of us is 8. 8 is new beginnings, right? Come on now. So the whole family, when we collaborated with Melissa's Lessons and Legacy book, I just knew that had to be in it, right? It had to be a part of this journey. I'm so excited how beautiful it looks. I'm going to have to get with you and find out. We may be able to put it on there where people can buy the hard copy.
I was going to say, maybe we can
the price to it before it goes anywhere else. Yep. Absolutely. That might be an option.
You want a hard copy. You know what I'm saying? Or like for me, like you look, I do have a handful of people, like even my mom. When we wrote my book, my mom wrote it with me. We did it all snail mail. Like the woman does not own a computer, Wi-Fi. She has a flip phone, if you can believe they still exist. But like, so for her, she needs a hard copy. My mom prefers the hard copy. And I will tell you, it's beautiful when you see it all big and blown up.
I listen.
I think you should have both options available, honestly.
We definitely can put that up there for the people who just like, I don't.
Oh, you guys, this is a $27 discount here. If you order by the 6th, this is launching. So it's only $25 right now, but it is going up. This did take a lot for us both. And it's worth it, but
it's worth every penny. Matter of fact, we would, like I said, after you,
if that keeps on giving,
that part, after you feel the transformation of what those words do, how they heal you, how they get you in alignment, how it'll make you realize that you are essential. And in a time right now where we're living and we're learning and we're embracing and we're growing, that is something that we have to know. With suicide so high, with the conditions of people, mental health, where we have the loss of our kids like that. I know we're so upset about the young man that did it, but it's like, what state was he in? What did he not know? What did he not value that he didn't?
How bad was he
appreciate life? Come on now.
He did not know he was essential.
You know? He did not know. He did not know.
Words like this
know he mattered.
It saves lives. It saved my life. I was in that state. And the words saved me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the words, honestly.
If it wasn't for the words. And so if this book doesn't do anything else for you, I wanted to inspire you to know that somebody is depending on you, that somebody needs you to show up for them, that they don't need advice, but they need guidance. And so that's what this book is. It's a guide. It's a guide to get you into position. It's a guide to remind you of the I am that lives inside of you. That God is so powerful that he couldn't give all of him to one of us. So he gave a piece of him to each of us. And I call that a God piece. And when we show up in the examples of life, when we allow our gifts to make room for us, not only do God change our life for doing our part, but he changes everybody that he touches, right? And so if God said that he can multiply you, 1 times any number is what? It is that number. Come on now. So showing up is the one. God said, I need one. And if 2 touch and agree, it is so. And so once your survivor, come on now, touch and agrees with the soulvivor, which is the mindset. Once your body, the person who has won in the flesh, because we are here. Once the mind catches up to the body's promises and the process that it went through, then those are the 2 things that touch and agree, and it creates the gift that is you, so that you are no longer ashamed of your story, so that you can claim victory out of it. Because as I say, now means that it's no other warrior. And if you flip it, it spells one. So no other warrior has one like you. And the way you commit to that assignment is getting the words that continue to stir you up, listening to the words that feel you and heal you, right? So that you can get out of your feelings and into your healing. That is
what there it is.
Going to do. It is going to take you to levels of you that you forgot existed. Because while you're going high, you can't forget to go deep. Because the deeper I go, the better the foundation is on what I'm building. And so I know that God is trying to build some amazing things in this season. This is the 6th. Yeah. 222. It is about us. It is about showing up. It is about taking our gifts and collaborating, because we don't compete. We complete.
Complete.
Come on now. Come on now. And the difference between them 2 letters is the L.
Right.
Because it's about how we love each other. But it first starts with how we love ourselves. And so I want to get you in relationship with yourself so that you can see what makes you so essential. Just in case you forgot. Just in case you missed the mark. Just in case life doesn't feel like it's where it belongs. The only person that's not where they belong is you and your mindset. Because once you realize that everything that's here, that you create here, then you'll start to really spring clean the way you think, and you'll definitely pay attention to what seeds are being planted and what you have to prune out of your life. It's time to prune those thoughts that are not serving the being of who God created you to be. It's assignment time. He don't have no other time. It is up to us to show up, because we are in a season where light versus dark. And if you put the light in the room, guess what? Darkness cannot coexist. So I want you to be the light. I want you to show up in your light. I want you to understand the gift that is you by collaborating with people who bring out the best in you, by finding people who can be the God piece, because God will not come down. He was not going to come down and do my book for me. But he said, I put somebody in the room that you have already have a relationship with to get you further. You just got to see me in everybody, because I exist everywhere. And when you see you, you get to touch somebody else's hand, and then together you make God's vision, which is masterpieces. He did not do it so that we could be alone. He wants us to be around each other. He wants us to love ourselves through the process so that we can become the promise. You know, like I said, I'm long-winded. So Melissa, what do you want to say before we have to go?
Well, listen, tell them, since we're on, healing and all that, healing and through words, and why don't you tell them about the Feed a Hungry Child Soul campaign you got going on too? And if you have your link, put your link up so that they know where they can pre-order the book.
Yes, absolutely. The link is actually, if you hit the top of this video that y'all watching, the link is right there in the video. Once you go to that page, you'll be able to see all things that are Soul Says Doctor related to heal you into your next position. But one of the very major things that I'm working on right now, well, actually launching, is the campaign to Feed a Hungry Child Soul. Mental awareness yield. I want us to realize that once we change the way our kids see themselves, we change the generation. I can't go back and save little Precious. Melissa can't go back and save little Melissa. You can't go back and save little Michelle, little Star. We can't go back and save those people. But guess what we can do? We can turn those lessons into blessings and inspire the next generation by how we sow into them. Because the things that kept us locked up is what somebody said. And so let me tell you something. If I have a cup of messiness, I have a cup of discourse, I have a cup of all of that, and I begin to pour love and attention and inspiration and affection and validation and making them feel essential, guess what they start to do? They start to rewrite the story that is them. And so this book, How Special Are You? Well, You're One of a Kind, which is written in both girls and boys version, the idea of it is to teach you and show you just how essential, Melissa is running to get it, how essential you are and how we change their life is through words. I just said that God created the whole world through words, which means our most powerful gift is words. And so in order for us to show up in our God piece, we have to mind the words that we are using. We have to be mindful, full in the mind of the words that we speak and that we preach and that we teach. And so it's essential that our kids know their value. It's essential that they know that the world would be missing a piece without them, with bullying on a high, with suicide at an all-time high, with the loss of our kids. It's like, what if they knew how special they were? What if they valued themselves in order to value their neighbors, right? Because when we value us, we get to see each other. That's why God says, treat your neighbor as you treat yourself. That is an assignment. That means to not love you first and to love somebody else will be inauthentic to your whole purpose. Because if everybody took care of themselves, there'll be nothing left to do. And so I want us to become the village.
There you go. I went to go try and find it.
I know. Mental awareness yield. That's what I mean by May. May we be the village at this time. May we show our kids that we've been through some things, but we are becoming kings and queens. And so the price of admission is about showing up. It's about getting up. It's about growing up. And we know to stretch something is to grow them. So it could be a little painful, but you were built for the ride. It could be a little bit overwhelming, but with the team and support of parents, godparents, aunties, uncles, you can bless a child today. And so just imagine every $15 feed a hungry child's soul. We know how to feed their stomach, but can we feed their soul? Aren't we surprised when we lose a child to suicide? It's like, well, why didn't they know they mattered? Because maybe we forgot to tell them, because we assumed they already knew. And what do we already know? We only know what people say to us. We only know how people show up for us. And so it is our responsibility to make sure that these kids know that they are valuable, that we are dedicated to their growth, that we know what they've been through. And so we want to guide them into the best position that they could ever arrive in. And so also at that link up there, you can scroll on soulsagesdoctor.company.site and you'll be able to buy a book for a kid. Come on now. Change your kid's life. Buy 2 books. Buy one for a girl and one for a boy and go out there and give it to somebody. And I promise you, they are going to be better because you showed up. I did my part. I can't find every kid in the world, but I showed up in my assignment. But I need your help. I need you. I need a village. You remember when we used to be the village that everybody took care of the kids around us? And I don't care if you say, well, my kid got it together, but your kid got to grow up with another kid. Those kids that we lost was in the wrong space at the wrong time, because while we listen to the stories of all these beautiful kids, they knew who they were. The problem was the other person who entered into the space who somebody forgot to tell them their worth, who somebody forgot to say, you know what? I love you. I see you. You are amazing beyond measures. You have to beat to your own drum, right? You got to respond to your own love language. You got to get to know yourself. And so I think that also later, not today, tomorrow, I'll be back with the kids, because I love to hear the kids tell us what the book meant to them. I mean, looking at old plays of even my sons when they were like 9 and 10, it's like, wow. Listen to how influential the book was. I think my son says it disintegrates negative energy.
Yes, he does. It disintegrates the negative energy.
Come on now. I had to use that. I had to use disintegrate in my whole campaign, Melissa, because I was like, wow. You saying your mom wrote a book that disintegrates negative energy?
Yes.
I couldn't use those words. And that's what happens when we pour I mean, amazing amounts of love into them. They feel worthy, and in return, they want to make somebody else feel worthy.
Right.
It was give to receive. And so I hope that you guys understand that these are investments that cost little, that will bring about much change in the world. That these words will bring about much healing amongst us all. And so
And
I'm just,
I tell you what, when you did that book, what, in 2017?
2018.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
well,
2019.
19. Gosh,
19.
time is all over the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember before you printed it and you called me and read it to me, and I like lost it. I completely cried my face off. I still cry when I read it. If I read that book out loud, you can hear it. I'm usually about 2/3 the way in. I'm like, whoa, choking up here. But I said, if I would have had that when I was 12 years old and going through my stuff, I can't even imagine how much it would have impacted and shifted and made my road so much less hard. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. So I think it's a children's book, but it's also for adults, because a lot of us adults still have that little kid trapped inside that was hurt, that wasn't told when they were young. And we're trying to unlearn how we were brought up, you know? So that book, you might need it for yourself. I'm 37 years old. What, 3 years ago, I was 36. What? No, 34 years old. I don't do math, obviously. I'm creative and I do art. Numbers aren't my thing. What's 37 minus 3? 36? You know? But at 34 years old, that shifted me. I've shared it with my children. I think I've bought probably 6 or 7 copies that I've dished out to people too. It's really, really a game changer with what we're going through. This whole world is going through stuff, but these kids, these starving kids, and I don't mean they're hungry for food and potato chips and cheeseburgers, their souls, their hearts, their worth. They're starving to know that they matter and they're enough and that they are essential and they're worth it. And to know how special they are, they're only one of them. Everyone is so special, one of a kind, you know? So I'm telling you, for me, that book changed my heart, my soul, and it poured back. It, like the little me, the little Melissa that's been in there suffering all the way up till 2019, got to hear it. I need to. I frequently will read it myself. Just like, this is a day, and I need to read this book today. You know, so I think it's a blessing. And so both of these books, the I Am Essential and the How Special Are You? You're One of a Kind, they're meant for the soul. They're meant to fill you up and make a difference. So if not for you, I guarantee you, if you look to your left or you look to your right, one of those one of those 2 people are going to need it, you know?
And God sent you for them. And so now you have some tools. And the most perfect part is that there's a QR code on the back. So it doesn't matter if the kid can't read yet. You can have the baby in the crib listening to the Soul Sage Doctor, Miss Precious Paul, and read to them how special they are, so that when they grow up, they will never forget the value of their breath. And even more importantly, they will honor the breaths that are around them, because they understand that the thing that makes us amazing is that we're one of a kind, never to be duplicated. And that makes you perfect, a perfect piece that the world needs. And so imperfect spaces and places that we may go through, but the thing that's perfect is the being that is you, because you're here, because you're necessary. And because now is the time. No other warrior has won like you. And so this has been look, that has been a 40 minutes.
I know. You said 30 minutes. I just laughed. I'm like, we can't have a phone conversation in 30 minutes.
We cannot.
We did good. We made it under an hour.
We made it under an hour.
I don't think we have ever done a show less than an hour.
Less than an hour. So if you guys see this, please share. Sharing is caring.
And teamwork makes the dream work too.
Come on now. Without you guys, I can't spread my message. I can't share the word, and I can't make a difference. So I thank everybody who helps me and multiplies my voice and become ambassadors. I'm looking for ambassadors in this season. People who have been touched by my words throughout the years, people who have been healed by me throughout the years, to help me heal a generation, because they need us now, and it is our responsibility. And so, any last minute things you want to say before I close us out, Melissa?
Just that there's a blessing in every lesson, and that this whole project, all of these projects, have been filled with all kinds of lessons and blessings. Honestly, not every lesson's not a bad lesson. So I've learned a lot of great stuff along the way that I am going to share and pass on and continue to multiply myself. And I just want to say thanks again for years ago taking a chance with me when I was just starting out and giving me an opportunity to grow into this. And I'm just grateful to be part of this, because it matters so much. This matters to the world so much. And thank you for never quitting, and for always showing up, and for making it your life's purpose and your soul's mission to help our hearts and our souls. And now you're going to make me cry.
Well, it is an honor, it is a privilege, but most importantly, it is assignment. And I think that once we recognize that we each are on assignment, then we make it our responsibility to get in alignment, right? Because it's a relay race, and somebody's relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. And so I want you to show up in that. And I want you to always remember that you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. Remember, love grows everything. So love yourself first. I hope that you take advantage of this over 50% off discount at this time, and that you invest in the person that matters most. It costs hundreds of dollars to fill up a car now. And if you got an expensive car, oh my God. And if you, it just
God help you.
how often do we fill up the soul of us, the thing that takes us to the car, the thing that takes us to the job, the thing that takes us to our roles and titles? And so this is an opportunity for you to prove that you matter most, and that I'm going to take care of the vehicle that is me by pouring loads of love and energy, and first of all, affirmations of confirmation that it was all for me. And so I'm just so grateful to share this time with you. Thank you, Queen Melissa, for being a part of this project, this journey. You have been a pleasure to work with, and you made room for me, for real, because I'm able to let go, because I know you get what I'm doing and how I'm moving and what this mission means to me. And so I celebrate you for always showing up, especially when I need you the most. And so I couldn't have done it without you. It would have took me forever, because it's just not, that part isn't my passion, but you allow me to walk in my passion by showing up with the peace that makes you essential. And so thank you for bringing your God peace. It has made me feel like I could do so much more, right? And so I think we always got to realize that when we collaborate, oh my God, we become the picture of God. And so thank you for being here. Remember, you are to go from Soulvivor to Soulvivor. And remember that I can make you wealthy. WELLTHY. Thy well, because that's the real wealth you want. You want to be able to have overflow, so that when somebody needs to drink, they won't go thirsty, because God said greater things we would do. So it's your time, and he birthed you for such a time like this. Now is always today. No other warrior has won. And so you got to show up in your now. I love you guys. I miss you guys. You'll see me more often. I'm coming back to full effect, but I love you, and we'll see you guys at a later date. And don't forget, go order that book now.
Yeah. Or all of them. Order them all.
Order them all. Bye-bye, you guys. Look, they never want us to go.
No, it's me.